These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
Hi there, I'm Kaylee O'Kelly with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Governor Katie Hobbs announcing the state's first extreme heat preparedness plan ahead of Arizona's intense summer months. This does include the country's first state-level heat officer. Once a chief heat officer is selected, they will help coordinate heat-specific efforts between agencies with shelter, energy, and health and disaster responses. Well, e-scooters have fast become a staple of the downtown Phoenix area, and now you can use them any time of day or night. The city making the scooters available 24/7 while they test and evaluate the expanded hours for a 6-month trial period. In the future, Phoenix officials say they are looking at expanding the area the scooters are available, hoping to move north of downtown to help people take more advantage of the light rail.
You are lucky enough to live within a few minutes walking of a train or bus station, you might have a little bit more of a walk. And so e-bikes and e-scooters can really help to fill that gap.
So if you do ride a scooter, you must stay on the street or bike lane where available and obey all traffic laws, of course. Hey, Super Tuesday, you know it's tomorrow. As voters gear up to hit the polls, the nomination for president looking more and more set. So what makes this Tuesday so super? Our Scripps News political correspondent Joe St. George explains.
It's nearly Super Tuesday, one of the most important presidential primary days every 4 years. And while this presidential primary season feels a bit anticlimactic, Tuesday still matters. Let's start with reason number one that Super Tuesday still matters: delegates. It's traditionally the biggest prize every 4 years during presidential primaries, and this year is no different. On the Republican side, all of these states will vote or caucus. Scripps News and our partners at DDHQ report 862 delegates will be up for grabs. In some states, Nikki Haley will earn delegates, but in other states, it is winner take all, benefiting former President Donald Trump. On the Democratic side, over 1,400 delegates are at stake, with President Biden expected to inch closer to making his renomination official. Kyle Kondik, an election analyst at the University of Virginia's Center for Politics, explained on Scripps News what state to watch. Most interesting state on Super Tuesday.
Look, I guess I'd say California, because you also have a Senate primary there.
What Kondik touched on is also reason number two Super Tuesday matters: non-presidential races. When Senator Dianne Feinstein of California passed away last year, the governor of California appointed LaFonza Butler to fill the seat right away. But the senator is not running to keep the seat long term. Instead, on Tuesday, these leading candidates are in a primary to replace her. Under California rules, the top two move on to the general election, regardless of their party. Reason number three Super Tuesday matters: one step closer to the general election. In fact, it could unofficially kick it off. That means if you live in one of these states identified as being a swing state this year, get ready for the ads, the phone calls, and presidential visits to intensify. While mathematically former President Donald Trump or President Biden can't clinch the nomination Tuesday, a poor finish by Nikki Haley will make it harder for her to stay in the race. Although she indicated to Scripps News' political director Andrew Rafferty last week that she doesn't have plans to go anywhere.
As long as we can keep it competitive, we're going to keep on fighting.
Are there any assurances that you can give voters in states like where we are in Virginia that you're in it for the long haul?
I mean, I think what we're trying to do is look at how hard we've fought. There were 14 people in the race. We defeated a dozen of the fellas. I've got one more to catch up to.
Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
Good morning, everyone. Tracking your most accurate forecast, I'm meteorologist Jorge Torres. We are expecting a sunny and mild, and more importantly, a lighter wind day here in the valley and across the state, with temperatures starting off in the 50s this morning under sunny skies. More of the same through midday, reaching the mid-60s by then and topping out in the lower 70s by the afternoon. Across the high country, highs near 50 there in Flagstaff, mid-50s along the Mogollon Rim, and 60s as you head toward southern portions of Gila County and throughout the lower desert. So highs this afternoon, generally in the low to mid-70s. So great news for those of you attending the spring training games for the next several days. We're looking at sunny skies today, warming up a little more Tuesday and Wednesday, although we're calling for some breezes by Wednesday. And then beginning Thursday, the temperatures take a dip, and the chance of rain picks up now at 20%. So here's that 7-day. Temperatures, again, going up quite a bit through Wednesday, then cooling down Thursday here in the valley. In the high country, dry for the next few days with highs in the 40s and 50s. Then we call for the chance of some wintry weather beginning Thursday and Friday and into the early part of the weekend.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head to abc15.com or download our free ABC15 mobile app. Make it a great day.
These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.